Listen, I know you're tired. You're the one everyone calls when things go wrong. You're the fixer, the reliable one. And I know you think that saying yes to everything, being 100% efficient, is how you secure your place in the world. But let me ask you, what has being so incredibly useful actually gotten you, besides chronic exhaustion? You see, there's an ancient concept from the philosopher Zhuangzi about a twisted tree. It was so crooked and knotted that lumberjacks completely ignored it. It couldn't be used for houses or boats, but while all the straight, perfect trees were chopped down and burned, the useless tree lived for centuries, providing shade. You are trying to be the perfect straight timber. The truth is, demonstrating constant superiority and endless availability only attracts exploitation. So, let's look at exactly what playing the fool and embracing strategic uselessness can actually offer us. Strategy 1. The concealment of capacity. If you want to survive the modern social and corporate machine, you must master the absolute art of hidden strength. We have been brainwashed into believing that we must constantly prove our worth by operating at 100% capacity, 100% of the time. But here is the cold, mechanical truth of human nature. The moment you show the world your maximum capacity, that maximum becomes your new minimum expectation. Think about it. If you stay up all night, finish a complex 3-day project in 3 hours, and hand it in immediately to impress your boss, you haven't won the game. You have just taught them that your time is cheap, your boundaries are non-existent, and your baseline speed is superhuman. Your reward for this hyper-competence? More work. The ancient military strategist Sun Tzu understood that the greatest form of power is the power that remains unseen. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, he wrote. Translated to your daily survival, this means you must intentionally conceal your peak efficiency. This is not about laziness. It is about tactical pacing and endurance. In your daily life, you must introduce artificial friction. If a task takes you 20 minutes, let it sit on your desk for 2 hours. If you draft an email brilliantly in 60 seconds, schedule it to send the next morning. When you are sitting in a meeting and you instantly see the solution to a problem, bite your tongue. Wait. Let others struggle with it for 10 minutes before you slowly, hesitantly, offer your thought. By hiding your true speed, you stop being a limitless, easily consumed resource. You become slightly inconvenient. And in doing so, you protect your core vitality from a world that would drain you without a second thought. Strategy 2. The silent collection of data. We live in a culture that is absolutely terrified of silence. We feel an intense, almost physical pressure to answer every text message, every email, every casual demand the exact second it arrives. We believe that speaking first, or replying fastest, makes us look dominant or reliable. But immediate reaction is a psychological trap. It signals to everyone around you that their agenda is inherently more important than your own focus. The philosopher Epictetus famously noted that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But let's take that further into the realm of strategy. Silence is not just about being polite. Silence is an aggressive data-gathering tool. When you delay your response, when you let the phone ring out, you are not being ignorant. You are stepping off their battlefield. Let people wait. The next time you are in a negotiation, or even a tense family argument, and someone makes a demand, do not answer. Just look at them. Count to 5 in your head. The discomfort of that silence will force them to keep talking. And when people talk to fill the void, they negotiate against themselves. They reveal their insecurities. They drop their prices. Often the urgent fires people want you to put out will miraculously extinguish themselves if you simply wait 24 hours to reply. Let them sit in the heavy, awkward discomfort of your unavailability. By being strategically slow, you train people to stop using you as their immediate emotional and professional crutch. Strategy 3. The refusal of the savior role, managing the ego of others. You have an ego. We all do. And that ego loves the intoxicating rush of being the hero in the room. When a coworker completely messes up a presentation, or a friend creates a chaotic crisis in their life, your immediate instinct is to jump in, point out the logical flaw, and fix the mechanism for them. You want to demonstrate your superior intellect. Stop. This is the fastest, most dangerous path to becoming the emotional dumping ground for other people's incompetence. If you are always the savior, you become the system's shock absorber. You must learn the dark art of empathy without absorption. This is about pure hierarchical survival. Imagine you are dealing with a boss or an elder who is making a clear mistake. If you aggressively correct them, you trigger their insecurities. You bruise their ego, and they will subtly punish you for it later. Instead, play the fool. When someone comes to you with a crisis that belongs entirely to them, listen actively. Nod your head. Validate their intense stress. And then, hand the problem right back to them. Say, "That sounds incredibly complex. I'm not sure I'd even know where to begin. What is your gut telling you to do?" Do not offer the blueprint. Feign a slight polite ignorance. Plant the seed of the solution through leading questions, but let them believe they found the answer. By refusing to play the savior, you protect your own mental bandwidth. You remain the supportive ally, but you make yourself completely useless as a scapegoat. Strategy 4. The weaponization of emptiness, evading the spotlight. This is where the concept of the twisted tree reaches its absolute deepest level. Society constantly demands that you fill every single void. If there is an empty space on a useless committee, an unclaimed administrative task, or a demand for someone to organize the office holiday party, the machine looks for the most competent, useful person to exploit. The philosopher Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching wrote a profound truth. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. The true utility of the vessel is not the clay. It is the empty space. To survive, you must weaponize your own emptiness. You must become a master of strategic incompetence. When the spotlight sweeps across the room looking for a volunteer for thankless, invisible labor, you must project a dull, entirely uninteresting aura. Be fiercely, violently competent at your core job, the metrics that actually dictate your salary, your growth, and your freedom. But become utterly, hopelessly incompetent at the fluff. If they ask you to fix the printer, mess it up slightly. If they ask you to take notes in the meeting, take terrible, unstructured notes. Miss the subtle hints. Look slightly confused. Shrug gracefully and say, "I'm really not the best person for that type of detail." When you weaponize this faux ignorance, just like Socrates who claimed, "I know that I know nothing," to force others to expose their own flaws, you force the spotlight to move past you. You leave the heavy lifting to the hyper-useful fools, keeping your energy pristine for your own battles. Strategy 5. Post-victory disarmament. Eventually, even while playing the fool and protecting your energy, you will win. You will secure the massive promotion. You will build the successful business, or you will achieve the high status you have been quietly plotting for. But make no mistake, success is a highly dangerous state of being. Sociologists refer to this as the tall poppy syndrome, the dark, universal human tendency to attack, sabotage, and cut down the person who stands out from the crowd. If you win and you proudly attribute it to your endless grind, your superior intellect, and your flawless strategy, you are painting a massive target on your own back. The reward for visible superiority is always resentment. Envy is a silent predator, and it will mobilize the people around you to tear you down. The final and perhaps most crucial strategy is post-victory disarmament. The moment you succeed, you must immediately deflect your competence. Think of the modern power players who operate in the shadows. They never demand the loudest applause. When you win, you must publicly minimize the victory. Blame luck. Credit the chaotic timing of the market. Praise your team excessively. Sigh, wipe your brow, and tell people how exhausted you are and how you honestly just barely pulled it off by the skin of your teeth. Play the lucky survivor, not the conquering god. By doing this, you instantly neutralize the toxic envy of the room. You force them to view you not as a hyper-competent threat who needs to be destroyed, but as a fortunate, humble peer. You quietly keep all the power, all the money, and all the status, but you shed the heavy, dangerous burden of their jealousy. The world does not want you to rest. The system wants you optimized, shiny, straight, and perfectly ready to be cut down and consumed for its own growth. It will applaud you as it burns you alive. These are 5 ways to stop being the perfect, straight timber. 5 ways to embrace the knotted, crooked, impenetrable strength of the useless tree. Stop trying to prove your absolute worth to people who only view you as a function. Be slightly inconvenient. Be a little slower to answer. Protect your shadow. And remember, the most dangerous person in the room is never the one showing off their strength. It is the one who knows exactly how to play the fool. Until next time, stay useless.